local election headquarters. KFDX 3 News at 10 starts now.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Daryl Franklin.
And I'm Gwen Bevel. Welcome to your local election headquarters. In every state across the country, voters made their voices be heard in some tight races in Congress, state and local races.
And we're going to have all those results to come. First, though, big news out of the state of Texas as voters have picked their next governor.
Wichita Falls looks like it will have its second resident in the governor's mansion in history, with Republican Greg Abbott holding a comfortable lead all night.
Ann Arnold's been covering the Abbott Watch Party in Austin. Let's go ahead and join her with what's sure to be a pretty lively party. Ann.
Hi, Daryl and Gwen. Daryl and Gwen, right now there's a video playing behind me, and the governor-elect, as they're projecting tonight, is set to take the stage. Take a look. We're understanding he will take to the stage at 10:02, and his daughter will be the one announcing him. There is a lot of excitement here tonight. This crowd is energized and they're jazzed. We've had some great speakers here too, some big names in the Republican Party. We heard from outgoing Governor Rick Perry, who actually is taking a back seat and not really trying to take center stage. He's letting Abbott take it all. We will have a full report coming up for you on KFDX 3 News today. From Austin, Ann Arnold for your local election headquarters.
And thank you so much. In Wichita County, voters went for native Greg Abbott by more than 70% margin, 76% to 23%. In fact, this compares to the governor's race 4 years ago when Wichita County voted for Republican Rick Perry by an almost 70% margin over Bill White. And this election will make Wichita Falls' second governor, our other being Governor James Allred.
Well, Senator Wendy Davis says despite the loss, she'll continue her fight for all Texans and improving our education system.
Davis and her supporters have been watching the results come in from Fort Worth. That's where we find Jason Puckett. He's standing by with more. Jason.
Good evening from Fort Worth. Still a relatively small number of votes being counted already percentage-wise, but multiple news outlets already have made the call for Attorney General Greg Abbott as the next governor. But the crowd here doesn't seem to be listening. They're still very optimistic. Many people still saying they're not leaving or believing that until they see all those votes counted. Now, we did speak to experts earlier who said at this point, if Davis does look like she's going to lose this race, there's another number that they're looking for, and that is 42% of the votes. That's the number that Bill White won back in 2010, and experts say that Davis matching or exceeding that number would not only be a victory and a move in the right direction for the Democratic Party, it could show a definite political future for Wendy Davis as well. But as you can see behind me, this crowd's not going anywhere anytime soon, so we'll be here with more coverage, whatever the outcome may be here in the near future. For now, though, I'm Jason Puckett here in Fort Worth, Texas, your local election headquarters.
All right, Jason, thank you.
Well, back here in Texoma, there are a few contested elections we're looking at closely.
Of course, since much of Texoma remains strongly Republican, many races were decided in the primary with no Democrats filing. But in Wichita County, there were 2 contested races for commissioner.
First, let's take a look at Wichita County Commissioner Precinct 2, where Republican Lee Harvey faced Democrat Tom Bursey. And in the end, with 74% of the vote, Harvey wins this election. Harvey has worked in the oil field industry and became general manager of a pipe engineering company where he handled large budgets, contracts, and more. He says the Wichita County Jail is his #1 priority.
I'm really concerned about how much money Wichita County is going to invest in our jail system. I know we have to be in compliance with the state, but we need to be very smart about spending that money. I think we can get in compliance and satisfy the state's requirements without breaking the bank.
We also spoke earlier with Democratic candidate Tom Bursey.
I am in the process of trying to get a veterans court system established here in Wichita County. And even if I'm not elected, I'm going to pursue that to get a veterans court approved by the county commissioners.
Earlier this year, Commissioner Pat Norris announced she would not seek re-election after holding that seat for 16 years. Now, in the Precinct 4 race, Republican Jeff Watts and Democrat Alan Arnold were running for the seat that will open with Republican Bill Preston's retirement. And the results show Watts with 78% and Arnold with 22%. Watts is a lifelong county resident and past winner in the Idea Wichita Falls contest. And we spoke with him earlier, and he says he's ready to get to work in his new office.
Got a lot to do in a short time to get there, so we will transition from what I do daily today, which is manage a trash company, to the courthouse, and so that's exciting.
Arnold is an Army veteran and a former chairman of the Wichita County Democratic Party. We spoke to him as well. He says this was his first time to campaign, and he really enjoyed the process.
And I'm a people person, so I enjoyed that. That's probably the most enjoyable part of the whole campaign was meeting the people. And that's what it's all about, the people.
Current Commissioner Bill Preston served 4 terms in that office.
Turnout for this year's election was down from 4 years ago, with about 29% of the county's 70,000 or so voters going to the polls. More than 12,000 of them voted early or mailed in their ballot. After 20 years of serving District 13, it looks as though Congressman Mac Thornberry will win another landslide election. Right now, he's at around 83% of the vote in the district and 77% precincts reporting in Wichita County.
He is currently the vice chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, and he is the top candidate to become chair in January. At his campaign party tonight in Amarillo, he says when he heads back to Washington, he has 2 things to tackle. Now we're going to head back to Austin, where Abbott has taken the stage.
Thank you, Texas. The people of Texas have spoken, and I am deeply honored to be your next governor. Earlier tonight, I received a telephone call from Senator Davis, congratulating me on the victory tonight. I thanked her, and I told her what I want to tell you. Whether you voted for me, against me, or didn't vote at all, I'm going to work every single day to keep Texas the best state in the United States of America. I am so proud to have by my side my wife of 33 years, Cecilia. Who has now made Texas history as the first Hispanic First Lady in the history of the great state of Texas. And we are so proud of our teenage daughter, Audrey. Through her eyes, I see the future generations of Texas, and it looks pretty good. I will do what the federal government has failed to do. I will secure our border and enforce the rule of law in the state of Texas.
Abbott's acceptance speech there. Of course, you can see more of that on KFDX 3 News Today tomorrow morning.
Well, turning back to some polling results, Republican John Cornyn should be on his way to an easy win. He was polling in more than 60% of the votes for a third term as senior Texas U.S. Senator against Democrat Dr. David Alamil, a dentist who founded a multi-million-dollar dental clinic chain and who campaigned as a representative of the people against big business. Cornyn was first elected in 2002. Well, there were a lot of uncontested races after the primary races across Texoma last spring, but still a few contests out there that are left to still be decided, including a school bond election and also a wet-dry question.
So now let's go over to Michelle Dixon for a look at all of those.
Well, Gwen and Daryl, let's start with the Archer City School District bond election. Now, it was a $17.7 million question to voters for a new high school, junior high, and other improvements, and the decision proves every vote counts. Now, the bond issue passed by just 7 votes, 485 for, with 478 against. Very, very close race. As your local election headquarters, will continue to follow these races and more throughout the night, so stick with TexomasHomepage.com for the very latest. Let's now go back to Daryl and Gwen with results from some Oklahoma state races.
All right, thanks so much, Michelle. Turning now to polling results across the Red River. First, the Oklahoma governor's race. Well, of course, also big stake tonight. Control of the U.S. Senate up for grabs. And
we'll have a full breakdown on the national scale after Skip and Kevin give us a look at those rain totals. Don't go away.
Of course, you can find the latest, too, at TexomasHomepage.com.